All right, guys, what's up? This one's really easy. It says match each graph A to the correct translation A prime. Now, that's just the way that you say this little symbol. It's prime. Now, does that have anything to do with prime numbers? No, it doesn't. You just call that A prime, and it just means A's new location. So we switch from A to A prime. How did we get there? So in the first one, here's A. Here's where our shape is, right? And how do we have to move to get over to A prime? And I'm going to put A prime in a different color. How do we have to move to get there? Well, if we're just translating it, and that's what this word means, which is just sliding it. No flips, no rotations, no reflections, no nothing, just sliding it left and right. Click and drag. Then we moved over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and we moved 1 down. So left 4, down 1. Let's see. Left 4, down 1. Right there. So super easy. The only things you need to know is that you're moving from A to A prime, not A prime to A. So number 2, you're moving from here to here, from A to A prime. A prime just means A's newest location. So just how many spaces are you moving? How do you get there? What was the translation that was needed? In the first one, we needed to translate it 4 to the left and down 1. So I guess for number 1, we would put T right there. Okay. Part 2 says translate the given image and find the new coordinates below. Okay, so it says translate 6 left and 4 down. What are the new coordinates for A prime? So I'm just only paying attention to the A right now. I could do the whole shape, but it says where's A basically moving to? A is going to go 6 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's going to go 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there's the new spot. There's where A prime would move if we move that whole shape. There's where that point would be. So that point's at -3, 1. Okay, -3, 1. Yeah, that's there. There's A for that one. All right, I'm gonna do the next one in a different color. I'll do it in blue. It says translate 1. If we start with the same basic shape and we translate 1 right and 1 up, what are the new coordinates for B? Well, if there's where B starts and we go 1 to the right and 1 up, there's where B prime would be right there. And that spot is 3, 2. Is that a spot? Yes, okay. And that would be L. Notice I'm not doing the whole shape. I could do the whole shape, but I'm just asking for the point that they're telling me to find. All right, start with the original shape and go 4 left and 6 down. 4 left and 6 down. What is the new ones for C? So I'll do this one in green. There's C. Where does C prime end up if it's 4 units left? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Or sorry, that's 0, -5. Okay, so that would be this one, T. And finally, that last one we'll do in, I guess, I don't know, black, I guess. Okay, what is the new points for A to A prime if starting there, we're going to go 5 right and 4 up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's way off the grid. So if we were here at 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, and we moved to the right 5, now we're at 8, 5, and we moved up 4, now we're at 8, 9. I know it's not on the grid, but we could just add to the coordinates. 8, 9 would be E. All right, see if you can do those over here for this side. All right, I'm gonna move down to the other page. And this one is about reflection. So it says, let's see if you can imagine reflecting a shape over, putting a mirror down and seeing it reflected equally on the other side. So for number one, if we reflect this blue triangle that's pointed up over the y-axis, if we reflect it here, that means it's going to move that much this way and move that much this way to be there. So it would be like over here like that. So it's the same, ooh, I made mine a little too far away from, but it should be the same distance. So of the ones that it would be H for number one. Let's see. For number two, you have to reflect it across the x-axis. So if you basically folded the paper there and moved that down towards the x-axis, where would it be? Number three, we're doing the y-axis. We're going to fold it along that line. Number four, along the x-axis. And number five, along the y-axis. So in your head, can you imagine flipping the paper over? So number two, you'd flip it this way, so it'd have to move the same this way and this way, so the reflections would look the same away from that line. So, and the lines would be that way. It would look like L, because the horizontal line's in the middle, not E. Look at the middle shapes, like the squigglies. The squigglies are still going the same direction, so it would be L for number two. All right, for the bottom part, this reflection, I've got 4 points right there, and I'm going to put their coordinates. This is -5, +2, -5, +5. I'll put them in different colors. This B is at -2, +5, and this, we'll go black. C is at -2, +2. Okay, for the first one, reflect this over the x-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the x-axis, so that's going to be our mirror. When we reflect over the x-axis, all we have to do is switch the y variable. So I'm going to point to the y variable in all of these. There's the y. There's the y. There's the y. There's the y. All we do is make that, if it's negative, we make it positive. If it's positive, we make it negative. So I'm going to write the new coordinates it needs to move to underneath it. Well, actually, I won't. -5, +5. If we switch the +5 to -5, becomes -5, -5, which is down, -1, -2, and 3, and 4, is just down here. So by switching the y to negative, A moved all the way up there to A prime, all the way down here at -5, -5. B was at -2, +5, but we're going to switch the 5 to negative, and now it's at -2, -5, which is all the way down here. And we call this B prime, -2, -5. C, we just switch the y variable to -2, switches to -2, -2, and that's C prime. And D switches to -5, -2, which is right there. You can see with the reflection, the points kind of flopped over each other. D, -5, -2. And there's our new shape. Make it in a different color. There's our new shape. And it says, where are the new coordinates for A prime? Well, down here, -5, -5. Now, I did the whole shape. You guys don't have to. For the next ones, just do whatever point they're asking for. I could have stopped with A because that's the only one they're asking for. But I did the whole shape just to help you out. So, for this one, where are the new coordinates for A prime? -5, -5. Right here, S. If I do letter H, it says reflect this over we start with the regular shape and reflect it over the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. There's the y going straight up and down. So now it's going to flip sideways. So we switch the x variable. Instead of flipping the blue coordinate, we're going to switch that red one, the first one, the x coordinate. So when we reflect, whatever we're reflecting over, if we're reflecting over the x, we switch the y. If we're reflecting over the y, we switch the x. So we're reflecting over the y-axis, so we're flipping the x. Let's just do just for B, because that's the only one they care about for this shape. So instead of being -2, +5, now we're going to be +2, 5. That's the only one we switch is the first one this time. So it switches to there. And if we did the whole shape, it would be over here like this. This would be B, this would be A, this would be D, and this would be C. But they only care about the B coordinate for this one. So let's do 2, 5. And that would be H. All right, so see if you can do the rest of them. Here's the trick. If they ask you to flip over the x-axis, switch the y. If they ask you to flip over the y-axis, switch the x. And remember, whenever you are writing the coordinates for a point, they're in x, y. So the x is always the first one, the y is always the second one. All right, good luck.